Is this thing on? All right. Welcome to Soma Institute. My name is Chris Bennett. If you've known me a while, you probably know what this particular live video is all about. There's been an incredible archeological discovery confirming the use of cannabis in an 8th century BCE temple in Jerusalem, in Iraq. Now, if you know who I am, you know that I've been writing about the role of cannabis in ancient Hebrew culture for close to 30 years, I would guess. And this is really exciting to see confirmation of this claim after taking a lot of ridicule and retaliation for what I've been writing about. And, the person that can really take credit for identifying a role for cannabis in the Old Testament is the Polish etymologist and anthropologist Sula Bennett, who first wrote about it in 1936 and then again later in the 70s, holding the theory for her whole life. And Sula Bennett pointed to the Hebrew references to Kaneh Bosm, that she said identified cannabis by tracing the word back through time periods of the Hebrew language and showing that this was related to the modern term cannabis. And, this was largely rejected by the academic community. And I'm sure it had an effect on Sula Bennett's career. I wish she was here to see this validation of her very important research. And this is a groundbreaking moment in both the study of archaeology and theology. Because what this reveals is the plant-based shamanic origins of religion, particularly the biblical accounts. And what I mean by this is just as Darwin's theory of evolution shook the very foundations of the myths of creation, and Adam and Eve, and offer a new vision, so too does this material offer humanity a new vision of the Bible. Let's take it into some context here. Moses, in the story in Exodus, first encounters the Lord in flames of fire from within a burning bush. And this burning bush commands Moses to make a holy anointing oil with 6 pounds of Kaneh Bosm, the word that Sula Bennett said was a reference to cannabis. And to mix this with myrrh and cassia, cinnamon, to about 1.5 gallons of olive oil. And olive oil is a very good transmitting tool for extracting the THC out of cannabis. And every time that Moses was to speak to the Lord on behalf of the Israelites, and this is true of the later high priests, he was to go in what was called the tent of the meeting. And he was to place some of that oil on the altar of incense. And then he was to speak to the Lord, and the pillar of smoke that appeared over that altar of incense, seek advice, stare into the smoke. What should we do, Lord? And a voice would come out. This is what we should do. And this is the birth of the Judaic religion, the birth of the biblical tradition. Now, this revelation, atheists might point to it and say, see, it was all just a drug-induced fantasy. But I'm here to tell you that I think there's more than that to this. It's not just a drug-induced fantasy. It's not just to be written off as the anthropological evidence of shamanism, which it is, but there's something deeper to this. And I know this because as somebody who's been writing about this for 30 years, I first began on this field of study because of a very powerful religious experience I myself had under the influence of cannabis, not knowing anything about history, not ever studying religion, just a young man. And I'll post about that in the comments here, in the description after I do this video. I had a bit of trouble starting it. But this is like such powerful information, man. And when we take a look at this story of Kaneh Bosm, it's interwound with so much. This time period that they're talking about here, this is during times of polytheism in Israel, when the goddess Asherah was worshipped alongside Yahweh in religious rituals. And according to some scholars, Asherah's cult as well used cannabis anointing oils and incenses. And the suppression of cannabis in the Old Testament period has to do with the suppression of the goddess. And think about the effect of that, how this suppression of the divine feminine has shaped the world and the age that we are in. The peak of patriarchal madness is right now, in this moment we're in right now. And this is, in many ways, the return of the feminine spirit. This is Mother Gaia reaching out to us with her hand and her healing plan. In a revelation confirmed by both religion and science about this incredible healing plant, Kaneh Bosm, the once and future tree of life. It's a good day, brothers and sisters. Boom, boom, Mahadev. Welcome to Soma Institute. Keep watching. More to come.